everybody. We're still working out some technical kinks, so might not be a super long live stream. This one right here, but we do have an interview we're about to go over to, so I'll send it over to Levi.
Hello, folks. Welcome back, ConNooga 2025. It's good to see you guys again. It's been a lovely, brisk afternoon. What is the temperature? 30 degrees outside? 32? It's too darn cold is what that is, but that's Washington, D.C. for you. Wait, we're in Chattanooga. That doesn't make any sense at all, does it?
It's 41,
It's 41?
I think it's lying.
It may be, right, it feels like a lie, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Wind gusts are up to 12 miles per hour, so that is not helping.
Right. It definitely feels colder than it actually is here. Anyway, back to our daily scheduled program here. We have Wes and Midnight as my guests this afternoon here. If you guys would introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about yourselves.
I'm Wes the Dragon. I am 24 years old, and I've been cosplaying since 2016. I turned 25 in a month, so that's exciting. I host panels all about being plus size in the cosplay community, being sustainable in the cosplay community. I do have a slight stutter, but we power through it. And cosplaying on a budget and how to get started in cosplaying because I want to share the stuff with people. I also advocate for plus size cosplayers online and support body positivity.
I'm Midnight. I'm Wes's agent and manager. I also usually respond to emails, sometimes as myself, mostly as Wes. I help make sure everything at Wes the Dragon Incorporated goes smooth sailing. We have another third party that's currently watching our table. Shout out to the guy in the chair, Matthew. Love you, Matthew. He also does emails sometimes. But we make sure the Wes the Dragon train keeps on lugging through, and here we are. This is what we do, and this is what we stand for.
You're also my partner of 11 years.
Oh yeah, I guess I'm married to Wes. That's also important.
I love how we followed that up at the very end.
I'm very professionalism first, and then afterwards I'm like, oh yeah, by the way, we're married.
Right. The true first love, professionalism.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm also the photographer and editor for videography and photography.
Yes.
So many hats nowadays.
Oh, yes.
Jack of all trades, master of many.
All right, fantastic then. So how long have you been in not only the cosplay community, but for the particular niche that you have accomplished here?
I think since 2022, technically. Because in 2016, I kind of started cosplaying, and then I was like, oh, no one looks like me. I feel awkward doing this, and so I stopped for like a little bit. I kind of did like just Saturday MuggleCon, and that's like all I did, which is totally fine. But like I just felt always kind of awkward, and then after COVID, I was like, I love myself. I took this time to like enjoy what I do, like work on my craft and whatnot. And I love my body, and no one's going to take that from me. So I want to show other people and be confident for other people so they can also love themselves.
Fantastic there. If they say if you can't find a path that works for you in your life, you got to like blaze your own trail.
Mm-hmm.
So if it's not there, make it.
Mm-hmm. It's really easy with the dragon breath, to blaze your own trail. So
that's what they say. That's what they say. Inclusivity. Did I say that right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm close anyway. It is really important in not only the day and age that we have, but as a movement to increase, what we are inclusive about. And it's such a different culture as it was 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago. And people are trying their hardest to accommodate these kind of things nowadays, whereas there was not any kind of movement for that. I'll say 10 years ago on average.
Right.
And I've seen it more and more nowadays. People are like, oh, that's cool. Let's try to adapt it in a way that's more convenient. Tell me a bit about your journey on this kind of thing there, where we got to.
So I've kind of always been, I'm going to use the word fat because that's like, it's just a word.
It's not a bad word.
Yeah, exactly. I've always been like fat, plus size, whatever you want to call it, since like elementary school, and I didn't get bullied because of it until middle school. Mm-hmm. And so my mom always told me, they're not gonna matter in like 5 years. What they say is not gonna bother you in 5 years. And she was right. Mom, if you're watching, you were right.
Darn it.
I love my mom. And she was absolutely right. So I just kind of like started kind of showing myself a bit more. And then after high school, like someone called me fat in high school. I need to get to that. Someone called me fat in high school. It was like I was a senior, they were freshmen, and they were like, fat, whatever, bunch of cuss words because freshmen be freshmaning. It was like a bunch of stuff. And it kind of sunk in, and I was like, I don't care what this person had to say about me. I didn't care if they said that. That's awesome. I like that feeling. Mm-hmm. And so when I got my first cosplay in 2016, I was still kind of worried about that. But after that incident happened in 2018, I was like, why am I letting these people bother me? And then 2019, I was like, okay, cool. We're going to do more cosplay stuff. And so I did. And I started like working on my stuff and perfecting it. Not really perfecting it, but like working on my craft. And then COVID happened, and we had like this whole plan for like our first con, MomoCon, was gonna be awesome, and then COVID happened, and we were like, oh man.
Straight down.
Yeah.
So I kind of took a little bit of a break and like worked on myself a little bit. And then 2021, we went to AWA, and I was wearing just a black outfit with this wig actually, because I didn't have the cosplay yet, and like a black trench coat, petticoat, whatever.
Sure.
And
Peacoat.
I was like, peacoat, that's what it is.
One of those letters.
Yep.
Yeah, Q coat.
No.
Wait a minute.
But yeah, so like I was like, wow, I'm cosplaying Sean Lee from Genshin Impact, and then so I bought the cosplay, and I think it came a KaiCon.
Oh yeah, that was
in
the
2022.
convention.
That was the convention.
We decided that it was this is what we're doing professionally. There aren't a lot of plus size professional people, so that's what we're gonna do. And then it was pretty much just, hey, Midnight, figure out how to do this, and then guess what? Midnight figured out how to do it.
It's very much a my cousin Vinny kind of reaction.
It
there.
is.
Yeah.
It's exactly.
You know,
what it's
figure
like,
it out, all right?
I'm gonna figure it out. I'm a lawyer. It's fine.
We love that movie.
It is a good movie.
It's a great.
But yeah, like a KaiCon, and I got my picture taken by Photo Jonah, and he was like, oh my god, you look amazing. And I was like, yee, okay.
Those photos are really
Right.
cool.
Narratives are important, and the ones we
Yeah.
tell ourselves and the ones other people contribute to the dialogue are also
Exactly.
important.
So I made my brand online, Wes the Dragon, because I am obsessed with dragons and everything.
That he is.
And I'm Wes, and people sometimes call me Dragon. Like this morning, someone was like, "Oh my God, there's my dragon," and I was like, "Yes!" So vibing with that, and I was like, "Okay, cool, I can work with this." So Wes the Dragon, I just do plus size stuff because I didn't see any plus size cosplayers, especially online. Maybe I just wasn't looking in the right spot, but like I started posting online and whatnot, and then I started getting hate back, and I was like, I don't care what you say, I'm having fun, let's go.
And that's what it is about.
Yeah.
I've had this conversation with a number of people. I've known a lot of cosplayers of varying degrees of success and not success and so on and so forth. And I have always a piece of advice I give them, and they always kind of get a little shocked when I say the first part. I said, there's one wrong way to cosplay. It's the one where you're not having fun.
Exactly.
That's the goal right there. And if you're not enjoying yourself, what are you doing?
I don't know.
I agree, especially with what you said about a couple years ago, how things were different 5 years ago, things were different 10 years ago. I mean, I've been going to cons a little longer than Wes has, and I've been a little bit more up in it more than Wes has, because let's be real, Wes has a really pretty face, and I do all the carrying stuff. But I mean, there's just been a drastic change, and people got a little meaner before they started getting nicer, I noticed.
This is true. It was the darkest before the dawn. You know?
Yes.
There was a weird period where you could show up wearing something like this like 10 years ago, and people were like, oh, that's cool. And then for like a couple years, people were like, oh, I don't like that. That's not proper. You should have just ordered it. And it's like, yeah, but I made this. And then now it's like, there's so many people, especially just that are more inclusive, that are like, oh, wow, you're in a wheelchair, but you still look cool. Like, you made it out of the games. It's like, yes, I did. It's nice.
It's always about moving trends, and I think in general we've made a good direction of things. And like something very quick to talk about is cosplay is not consent. It's now a staple in society.
Right.
Like I hardly have to explain that to anybody. You've all seen the posters. We have a dozen of them outside out here. It's a very
Yes.
important thing. But like that was not the standard.
No.
And to forgive an old phrase there, some of the older generation might remember yaoi paddles.
Oh no.
That's
yeah.
weird. I'm gonna just say it right now. That was weird.
It was.
And
It was an era.
It was an era, and it was an error.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was normal. And I'm really glad we have, as a culture, moved past it.
It's weird thinking back about that. My first con was, I think, Anime Weekend Atlanta 2014. And at first it was a great experience. And then at the same time, it was like, I'm 13. I should not be looking at this stuff that's in my face. Especially
Right.
like the yaoi paddles and the yaoi flags and the body pillows.
And glomping.
Oh, glomping. Right.
Good
Forgot
Lord.
that was a thing.
We really have moved on as a society, and that's good.
Yeah, honestly.
I think the last real red flag we had was Tide Pods.
Yep.
Oh no.
That was so long ago now. That was
Right?
like 6 years ago.
Yes, I haven't seen it since before the plague.
The plague!
Was the plague the Sharpie bath?
No,
Oh, okay.
no, that's too far back. Too far back, babe. No Homestuck.
Take
for
your
you.
pills, Grandma.
Back in my day.
We're going to be the funniest old generation ever.
Yeah, for sure.
None of the stuff we're going to say is going to make any sense. And it's like that already. You talk to somebody who's a boomer or older or whatnot, you're like, what are they talking about? That's going to be us in 40 years,
Yeah,
20,
for
30,
sure.
50, whatever. Some sooner than others, some later than others. But that will be a thing that we have to deal with and adjust.
I'm excited for that.
So you told me you had a bit of a journey also on creating as well. So I'm assuming you probably, like a lot of people, you bought a little of this, little of that, and somewhere along the way we
Yeah.
started making more things. Walk me through that.
Okay, so what I first really started doing was wig styling because it's what I could do at the time because I didn't really have the money for a sewing machine because I was still living with my mother and I didn't have a job during high school because I had so many extracurricular activities like choir and football,
and
soccer, and I was like, okay, and my mom was like, you don't need to get a job right now, you don't need to get your license right now, just focus on school. So I did.
Good
And
advice.
So, she would buy me what I wanted, and so I would get like the cheap stuff. So like I didn't even have a crimper, I didn't have a steamer, barely had a flat iron. I had to use hers, and God forbid I break my mom's flat iron. I had really cheap hairspray, but I just started working and learning how to shape wigs and whatnot. And so that was my first real thing.
I mean, this wig has been with us for 5 years now, I
Yeah.
think, something like that, and it's still kind of together.
Kind of.
Just from cheap hairspray and
Yeah.
slowly but surely.
And we got it off
fine.
Amazon.
Yep.
And my
For
mom
cheap.
actually bought me my first cosplay too, so she's really like supported me through a bunch of stuff. And I've always kind of wanted to go into like fashion and whatnot. I'd make like little clothes for my dogs by like wrapping blankets around them and like, you're in a dress now. And she was like, no, but okay.
You're talking about the dog, right?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Give or take.
We went from, I think, making stuff to like buying stuff to making stuff. Was buying cosplays for plus size bodies are expensive.
Oh yeah.
So this was $300 something. I
Yunjin
think.
was $300.
Oh,
This was $250.
$250.
Yeah.
But in comparison to someone that's a normal size, even smaller than me, because like I can't even fit in like
No, but Matt.
normal stuff. Like Matt, the guy in the chair, who's not me. I'm literally in a chair.
Right. There's a difference between being the guy in a chair and being in a
the
chair.
guy in the chair. Yeah, exactly. And then we realized that okay, this pattern's $20. This fabric I can get from some cheaper outlets for like $10. Thrift stores have fabric too. Bam, cosplay $50.
We got our sewing machine during COVID, and so we were practicing. I made my sister pillowcases for like her birthday and whatnot. I was like, you want pillowcases? I got you.
Easy peasy.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so we were learning to do that. We made a whole howl jacket. I didn't bring him this weekend,
Yeah.
but there's like pictures all over my
Yeah,
everywhere.
you should check out West the Dragon's Instagram to see the howl jacket.
Don't worry, we do plugs towards the end.
Cool, double plug.
No, but yeah, so like we worked with like satin that we hadn't worked with before, and we learned stuff from making it. We're like, okay, we're gonna make this again, but better.
So we're not to the point of like making everything completely, but it's definitely a thing of like we went from buying to thrifting to altering to making.
And I still thrift stuff all the time. I literally thrifted a
This is thrifted.
yeah.
These aren't even the same set. You wouldn't even know.
No.
Pretty
This
close.
Is, this is what is this? Masking tape and acrylic paint.
Yeah.
It's
you color matched
it's
it.
a Jets coat jacket, like the New York Jets. There's a patch under here. I just like.
Oh, I can see it. Yeah.
Yeah, if you look,
now,
you can put
now
on
that I
screen.
knew what to look for, I can spot it. I don't think the camera's going to pick that up, but it's there.
I literally thrifted something for this weekend. I was like, I looked at all my thrift stores and I asked my friend. I was like, my friend Deus, please try to find this. And he's like, you mean this? And I'm like, well, how did you
He
do
did
that?
it. Yeah.
Some people have that superpower.
I
Yeah, I know, right?
I don't.
It can be rough.
But yeah, because like so many like clothes and everything and cosplays end up in landfills. I do a lot of educational infographics on my social medias
Yep.
too and whatnot. Because like education is like, you know, you can always learn more. So a lot of the stuff ends up in landfill. So I'm like, okay, what can I use from a thrift store, or what can I use from like that's gonna go in the garbage if it doesn't get bought to make an awesome outfit that I'm gonna wear for probably like I've been wearing this one for 5 years, 4 years now, something
Yeah.
like that.
Okay.
So like I wear mine a long time. I will wear it out.
I got you. I did want to ask how much of this is homemade or how much of this is store bought.
This is store bought. I have shoes I usually wear, but they are not supportive anymore.
That's fair.
Yeah, but we have the shout out to the thrift store Feela's. And then this wig was bought, but then shaped over time.
Yeah.
He's wearing more stuff. What are you wearing tomorrow? Oh,
I'm wearing May on Sunday,
Okay,
and I
that's-
completely thrifted and
yeah,
made
it's
that.
all thrifted.
Mm-hmm.
So the only thing I think we have like made would be Howl, which we didn't bring. But
Yeah.
this is all thrifted, like I said. So
Right. And, you know, like, it's one of those things, like, it's okay that some people go harder than others. There's times that you want to take a break. I've been there, you know.
yeah.
Now, personally, I also can relate there. I am of a heftier size, and I got into sewing for that exact reason, because nice clothes don't exist in my size range, so I have to make it
exactly.
myself. I have a dear friend who actually has a similar problem on the opposite spectrum. She's so tiny and so petite, she has to make her own things.
No,
We have the exact
seriously.
same reason, but for a different purpose.
Exactly.
Or you get it and you have to alter it because they like fit one standard size, and if you're not
Right.
that, you
and
have
some
to
people
alter
are
it.
like this, and some people are like that.
And, like, at the same time, it's not fair to a lot of people there. But from an economic perspective, you understand why businesses have to run it that way.
Right.
Yeah,
They don't
exactly.
really get a choice about it.
Exactly. So you
Certain
might as well just
profit
make your own
margin.
things, like the 40s.
My main thing is just making everyone feel positive about their body. It's body
Mhm.
positivity. It's not about being proud just because you're fat or being proud because you're skinny. Like everyone should feel good in their own body.
Whether it works or doesn't.
Exactly.
Mine doesn't.
Right? Nobody ever changed their circumstance by making somebody else feel worse about themselves.
Yeah, like you shouldn't change your body to make like anyone else feel better. Like if that make you feel better, go for
Different
it.
story.
Sure, if you're pleasing yourself. But like people online are like, oh my god, why don't you just lose weight? What's your medical history? Do you have a disease that makes you fat? That's none of your business.
Right, that's a different conversation entirely.
Exactly.
Yeah, some people are just round. He's just a round guy.
Right? It just is like that.
It is.
All right, so you say you've been in it for what 3-4 years now?
Professionally.
Professionally,
yeah.
long-term kind of thing, but 2014 on average, kind of a start
Yeah,
point there.
that's
there.
right. Yeah.
That's a pretty good resume of experience there. What would you say was like a highlight of your career going on here?
My community outreach I do actually.
I agree.
Like guesting's really fun. You're hosting panels is really fun. But like I started this plus size photo collab to highlight other plus size cosplayers like on my page and whatnot.
Cool, tell us
And
about
so I'm going to take that and make like my own like magazine and whatnot at some point. That's just going to take a lot more work and effort and editing, but
I'm slow.
I don't have to do that. So, I'm kidding.
I'm a little slow. I'm behind.
It's okay.
it. It'd be like that
But yeah,
sometimes.
so anyone can submit it, and I post everyone that submits.
There's a Google form. I literally take everyone. It takes hours of like my time
Mhm.
out of like doing videos and everything, but it's still seeing people like how they're like, wow, I look so good here. You made me look so good. It's like, I didn't make you look good. You just think you look good because someone else cared enough to put it on the internet.
Yeah.
You know what?
We don't
That's
edit
fair.
their photos. We just
Nope.
we shape them into like a
A
square.
box.
Right, you,
Put it
you,
in a
you
box.
cut the photo where
Yeah,
you needed
yep.
to cut.
To put it on the infograph, we ask them what their favorite thing about cosplaying is, what characters are cosplaying, their favorite cosplay, pronouns, names, etc.
Right.
When we have the magazine, we could definitely do more, and everyone can write more. But for now, it's like a little start, and it does like great. We've been doing it for how long?
Dang.
Yeah,
Like
2
2 years.
And it's really popular. Everyone loves it, and I love doing it. It's like my favorite thing to do. We have like a little planner, and like I try to do it once a month. February's really short, so we might not get to it for February.
I think we have over 200 submissions or more at this point.
Yeah.
Is that all?
I think so.
That's
I think
it.
so. It's a lot up there.
I got you. Do we have any upcoming projects that we're proud of that we'd like to talk about? Any good costumes or events that we should know about?
Actually, yeah, that's my neck of the woods. I can actually talk.
Oh,
Let's
hey.
listen to you talk for once. So we have I think we have 13 events in total. This is the first one, so we have 12 left for the rest of this year. We have some surprises coming the end of the year for cosplays. I think the biggest project we're working on right now is Sombra from Overwatch 2. Super excited about that. We're planning on doing LEDs and everything, and if things go well, we'll have a Black Watch Genji and a Black Watch Cassidy, and we'll look super awesome
At MomoCon.
at MomoCon. But realistically, I'm gonna be real, it'll probably be AWA.
Yeah.
Scheduling can be difficult.
It's always the problem when it's like, oh, I want to do this new cosplay, It's like, we only have 4 days of the con, hold on.
Here's a fun question for you here. How many times have we promised ourselves we wouldn't do that again?
Yeah,
Too many.
Every time?
Every
Is
time.
it every time?
Every time.
We were
It's
trying
every
to
time.
finish a cosplay at AWA, and it did not get finished.
I've had a new rule in life because I've done that so many times. And I do also cosplay. Like if you are still working on it and it is more than like if the difference is 90% kind of thing, just put it down.
Yep.
That's gonna be. You're not gonna have fun every hour of the day. You're gonna be.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is.
Just be done.
Yeah.
It's the
Just
thing,
be done.
You said this earlier. You said like the only wrong way to cosplay is to not have fun,
And
and
that's
I
exactly
could
it.
not put, as someone that does this professionally for work and not just like the costuming, but like the online presence and the photography and the editing and the making of the costumes themselves. If you're not having fun doing it, it's not fun. I had so much fun painting my little things.
Exactly.
And I know I have a great time wearing it because I had fun doing it.
Yeah, honestly, for me, it's one of those things that I have enjoyed a lot. And I don't do it enough. It's mostly because I get so hot in costumes. I just can't
Oh,
enjoy
yeah.
myself at all. And like I said, if you're not having fun, don't do it. But I do have a blast when I have a good time with these kind of things.
Yeah, me too.
You know?
I usually try to do like colder cons. Like ConNooga,
Yes.
it's perfect right now. I could step outside and AC
I
free.
think this is our 5th ConNooga, if I'm not mistaken.
I have a friend who cannot get it right. If we are in the winter, they're in a bikini. If we're in the summer, they're wearing 5 layers of
Oh,
clothes. And I'm like, why do
no.
you do this to yourself? Every time I see them, And there's like, I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm like, I don't know either. Is it the heat stroke that's killing you?
My first cosplay was Saturday MomoCon 2016. I wore a three-piece suit because I was cosplaying Claude Faustus from Black Butler. I was dead, and I said never again.
Never again, right?
Those old fandoms had so many layers.
Oh yeah,
It's not fair. It looks cool, but it's not fair.
exactly.
I got you. All right, so tell me, where can we find you on the internet? List them all out for us here.
You want me to do it?
You can do it.
Okay.
That
So,
works.
my job. You can find us on Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, Blue Sky. Is that it?
YouTube.
Oh, YouTube. As
we
well
have a
as
Discord
Patreon, Ko-fi. You can check us out on Discord. The quickest way to find us, either search up Wes the Dragon or just go straight to Google, type in Wes the Dragon, and then bam, you've got Instagram, you've got Ko-fi, which is our website, you've got our link tree, which has everything on top of our plus size photo collab. And if you are plus size in the cosplay community, please fill it out. We would love to have you in it.
Sounds good to me. So it's all the same name?
All the same
All the
name,
same
just
name.
Wes the Dragon.
Fantastic. Where can we find you here at this convention?
We will be right in front of panel room 14 in the cosplay hall. We have a table, sign on the wall. I will be playing Dachi from Squid Game tomorrow. So if you hear slapping, it's me.
Right. Yeah, it's not a yaoi paddle.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, you're not gonna be slapping anyone.
I might.
No.
Not without consent.
Exactly. Consent.
Consent is key.
Yes.
So as my good friend Aaron says, who's also one of the hosts for the burlesque shows, consent is sexy.
Yes.
It is.
Exactly.
That's right. I live that.
Extremely.
It's the most sexy.
Absolutely.
Consent's my highest kink.
All right. And where should we find you after this convention? Is there another one we could be expecting your presence at?
Absolutely. You can come check us out at RetCon next weekend, which is March 1st at Georgia Tech in Atlanta. And then you can check us out at GrizzCon, which is the last weekend in March, Saturday and Sunday at, I think it's Gwinnett College.
Georgia Gwinnett.
Georgia Gwinnett College, which is in somewhere up there. I don't know.
Somewhere up there. You heard it here, folks.
Yep, you already heard it. And then for anything else past that, other than MountCon, which is in April, more information of that will be on our page coming up the next couple of months. We usually try to keep a schedule updated and posted somewhere up there. So you can go check us out over there. Check out the link tree. I think Wes has a blog that they never post up. But if you really want
I do
updates,
my
the
best.
Discord, which again, on the link tree, just Google Wes the Dragon.
So we are going to sign off here, but I also want to let you guys know, please tell your friends and whatnot that we will be doing a segment tomorrow about Hear Me Out. And we're just wanting some call-ins from
my
people.
God.
I know, right? To contributors like, hear me out. And I'm looking forward to the wild answers, as PG as one can possibly describe whatever it is. So tune in later, folks. We'll be back with you soon with some more content. My name is Levi, and this has been ConNooga 2025. Thank you for watching.